there's some new stuff that came out by Andrew Tate. So Morgan Pierce actually interviewed his lawyer from Romania. It's kind of weird because it seems like it's an American lawyer. Mm-hmm. And she had a couple good points. So, I want to kind of get into that. This came out probably, I think it came out a couple days ago. And ever since this came out, they actually extended the jail sentence or period, whatever, for another 30 days. Like, I guess in Romania, they can hold you pretty much hostage for 30 days at a time as they go through the investigation, whether or not they charge you. So they don't know. At this point, they don't know what they have on him. Maybe they do, but they haven't disclosed anything or shown anything. They haven't charged him. So that's kind of the weird thing. But
so
anyway,
they hold them for 30 days and then they make up some more bullshit and they hold them for another 30 days.
So it sounds to me like in Romania, like if they suspect that you are, I don't know, guilty of something, they can come and snatch you up, put you in jail, so that way you don't got nowhere to go. You can't run off or nothing while they do the investigation. This is whether or not they charge you or not. So at this point, it sounds like they're not charged with anything. But they made a case to the, to the judge saying, hey, look, we brought them in, we booked them, and we think they should stay in jail because they're a risk flight. And also they're saying that they could also intimidate the witnesses, that they could, make them change their mind or whatever because they're like influential people or powerful people is what they try to say. So It's kind of weird. And then ever since, I guess there was a few witnesses, but ever since this whole thing came out, two of the girls, they came out and they said, hey, look, the police or the whoever the DA is kind of like, they kind of made us say this, but we're not really in on it. And we're like, they're basically like backing up their statement saying that they weren't, whatever they were accused, they accused Andrew Tate of and his brother. And I guess another few people that didn't really happen. They weren't, abused.
So they lied basically for what? Why would they lie? What are they gaining out of it?
I don't know, but that's what they're saying. That the prosecution kind of made them do it. So, but anyway, this video is let's watch it and then we can talk about it a little bit.
All right.
Well, next, Andrew Tate will spend the next month behind bars in Romania after losing the latest appeal against his detention. Tate and his brother Tristan are being held as part of an investigation into rape and human trafficking. Well, speaking outside court, Andrew Tate said he's done nothing wrong.
Is that Baldini?
No, I'm innocent.
Hey, he's innocent. That's what he says. No, look, he's got a little hair.
Well, the pack is still with me. Plus, joining me now is the lawyer for the Tate brothers, Tina Glandian, who is in Romania. Well, welcome to you, Ms. Glandian. I really appreciate you joining me. Where are we with this case? It seems that every now and again this pops up back on television with them being remanded for further time. How long can that process continue before a charging decision is made?
Under Romanian law, they have up to 180 days, which is
30-day
increments. So every time there's a 30-day detention order, they're allowed to renew their request and have it extended for an additional 30 days, but not to exceed 180 days.
Okay, you've taken on this case. Andrew Tate has been repeatedly bellowing his innocence as he's been led in and out of these court hearings and so on. Do you believe them? Do you believe that he and his brother are innocent?
At this point, Pierce, they've had this investigation going since April. We're now February, and there are not even charges filed against them. So this is a huge injustice the way we see it. They should not be detained at this point. We think it's now crossed over to the point where it's violating international human rights law, because the deprivation of your liberty pre-trial is the most severe form of punishment a state can impose. And that's what they've done in this case. And they've had a very lengthy investigation with the government's resources. They've been analyzing and looking at all of their devices since April when they seized everything. And here we are, February, and charges aren't filed. So I think there's absolutely no evidence that's been presented. And that's our position.
Oh, they got him with bangers.
So, and this is kind of what I was saying, and she makes a good point. It's like, you've been investigating me since April. Now I'm in jail. It's February, but we still don't have a charge. How does that even make sense?
I don't know. They're just looking for something to get him, but they don't have anything, so they're just they're doing a tax extension.
This is kind of, I mean, look, whether you like him or not, maybe he's guilty, maybe he's not. The thing is, like, you're gonna put him in jail for it, right? But you don't have nothing on him since how long now?
I don't know.
You know, it doesn't make sense, and that's the kind of point she's making. She's like, hey, you're supposed to be innocent till proven guilty, right? So at this point, we have to assume he's not guilty because there's really no evidence that they actually put out. There's some information that Vice put out, a news station or whatever it is, Vice. Mm-hmm. They put out supposedly like some text messages, but there's no context to it. It's just whatever the other person sent, and also a voicemail that kind of talks about some stuff which incriminates him. But some people are trying to say, well, there's AI nowadays. You could, who knows? It could have been like false.
What did he say?
Well, it said something about like, yeah, you like the way I choked you and I did you, and the more you didn't like it, the more I liked it, stuff like that.
Okay, but how does that incriminate? People talk like that all the time. There's weirdos out there.
Well, that's what people are saying, that he thinks that because I guess he's been accused of something like that before, of whipping some girl or whatever, and she came out and she said, hey, that's our fetish. Like, they got, like, I guess he has some sort of fetish where
his fetish is to whoop on them.
So I guess he has some kind of fetish, and I guess these girls are into that too, where they like choke them out or something. I don't even know, but anyway, that's what they're saying. They're actually going to cover this, but here, let me play a little bit more and we'll see.
All right, let's watch.
How are your clients at the moment? How is Andrew Tate dealing with incarceration? I mean, I interviewed him just before Christmas. We had a long, wide-ranging interview.
Yes.
And once again, I was struck by the phenomenal following that he has online, particularly with young men. He has an enormous following there. You and I know this has been whipped up now by that community into a huge framing of a narrative that this is complete injustice. There are others who think this has been a long time coming, that he's a bad human being and that he's going to face very serious charges, and that will be the last we see of him. But how is he faring right now, given that at the moment he's in this limbo land of no charging but being held in incarceration?
The brothers are both very strong, they're resilient, and they're holding up, but obviously the conditions are not good. They're in a Romanian jail cell, and they've been detained for a very lengthy period at this point. They have limited access to their attorneys. It's not a good condition for them.
You've obviously represented a lot of people.
And as far as...
Sorry, please finish.
I was going to say, to your second point,
look at this thirsty ass fool.
They're controversial public figures, but that's not a crime. And at this point, we have not been provided any proof that they've committed any crimes, nor...
I mean, look, these fools are out here doing it big. He's asking like, how are they doing in Romanian prison? I'm pretty sure it's probably not the best, and they're probably not doing good.
Yeah, well, did you see him walk out and they look like they got beat the hell up in prison the whole time?
Fool, they did not get beat up.
Well,
these fools are both like world kickboxers, champions, whatever. They probably whoop some ass.
Yeah,
but look at that fool, double chugging
like
bottles.
They weren't doing that great because of they don't let him shave his bald head. Come on.
I don't know, but look at this. They're on the private jet eating pizza. I don't know if he got wings or whatever. He got double glass of wine, all that, and then now they're in freaking Romanian jail. So I mean,
that's what I don't understand. These guys. They have a crap ton of money, Lamborghinis, Bugattis, all kinds of shit. And instead of just enjoying their life, they decided, I'm going to go and start hella shit with the whole world. It's like, have you heard that Chinese saying? The nail that sticks up is the one that's going to get hammered.
Yeah. But
it's like, if I was that nail, I would have been like, bro, let me just chill over here with my Bugatti real quick.
But he feels like he has a calling to like wake up young man and like to fight against the agenda, because what he's trying to say, what he calls the Matrix, is that these people are just trying to hold you down. They don't want you to fulfill your life dreams. They don't want you, they want you to work the 9 to 5. They want you to pay the taxes. They want you to do all that. And he feels like there's more to life. Like, you could do better than that. You don't have to stay home, eat all day, be fat, and just be depressed about life. Because there's a lot of, that's like depression's probably at an all-time high, especially in America. And that's like mostly who he speaks to. So he felt like that's what he actually said. That he said, I could just kick back, enjoy my riches, do my thing. But he says, I want to help people. I want to help young men. That's what he feels like it's his calling.
He's basically doing what Donald Trump did. He baller, had everything that he could possibly want, and then he decided to become president, just be the most hated president on media, basically.
Yeah, like that's a good example. Donald Trump. He had everything. He didn't need the money, right? I think he even donated his salary.
Yeah.
From what I know, he took
$1.
a dollar just because he was supposed to, but he didn't take anything from nobody. He just really wanted to help this country. And now guess what? He got all that heat for it. They took Trump off everything, right? They just couldn't put Trump in jail yet. They're working on it. But even with this guy, he spoke out against what he calls the establishment. So now they're trying to say, well, you were doing this and that. But think of this. The business that he's been into, that he's been accused of, whatever, trafficking humans, right? That's how he got rich, off of that same thing, a webcam business. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I heard about the webcam business thing, but how are you trafficking people if you're just doing the webcam thing?
They're trying to say that he manipulated girls to come to his establishment, do the webcam business, and held them hostage. But there's no evidence against it because there's videos of them. Mm-hmm. And there's another attorney that actually makes a good point. He says, hey, look, these girls, you can see them on his own cameras out taking pizzas deliveries, out at the mall. They got their own cell phones. They're posting things online. They're doing everything. Like, if they wanted to leave, they could have left. But they're trying to say that, there's something they call a lover boy technique where supposedly he's so influential that they just won't leave. Like, they feel like they can't leave.
Yeah, I saw a video about him talking about how this is how you keep them in control, and you do all these things to make them feel like they can't leave you, and almost like a mind control type of stuff. I think that's why they're messing with them. That's why they want to hold him, because they're looking for some sort of evidence that he's a danger to people and other women. Because I saw another video that they were talking about the reason why they're holding him is because they don't want to let him out, because then he's going to threaten those witnesses that he had, those women or whatever. He's going to threaten them, and then they're going to shut up. They're not going to testify against them or whatever, that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that's true or what, or maybe he's a flight risk. He's about to hop on his jet and go to Dubai.
Yeah, but that could be it. But like, would you really bounce out and leave all your cars and your freaking mansion and shit in Romania and dip out on all of it? Like, I don't know if you would do that.
Would.
I guess if you got enough money that you don't care about it, but I don't know how that would play out, honestly. And then at the same time, you don't think he has enough influence to actually influence these girls from inside the prison?
That's true.
His Twitter account is tweeting right now, and he's putting out messages through it. There's people still running all those businesses and stuff. I think he's worth over $300 million. Like,
yeah,
somebody's doing the work on the backside. He's just driving Lamborghinis and stuff throughout Europe. Like, he ain't really working.
I don't think he's gonna go anywhere, because he worked way too hard to be the most popular person on the planet. For him to just run away and just hide somewhere, it just doesn't. It sounds dumb. Why would you work for?
He'd be too ashamed. Like, he wouldn't leave now.
Exactly.
And everybody knows him. Like, I don't feel like you can really go anywhere that people don't really know him. Like, most people know him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Especially like the younger people, I guess, millennials and down, I guess you could say. So I don't think he would leave, but I guess let's finish this and see what else is going on, what they're saying.
Or have they even been charged? So I would ask that people presume them innocent as they are.
Do they feel that they are being tried in the court of public opinion?
I think the public is divided, as you know. I think they have a big following, but at the end of the day, yes, I think there is a lot of information in the public. I think there's a lot of false allegations in the public. I think some evidence has now been put forth. Again, I don't want to comment too much on the facts of the case since there is an ongoing criminal investigation. However, I think there has been evidence put out, videos and other statements for the public to see what the supposed state of the evidence actually is.
it's been interesting to watch Andrew Tate's Twitter feed in particular.
So he's talking about it right now.
Tweet. Is he doing that himself? Has he got people doing that for him? And how do you feel from a legal point of view? Is it a wise tactic to continue to do that on social media when you're being held in custody by the Romanian authorities?
Well, again, he doesn't have access, so he's not doing anything directly. And what's being put
He's got a
out
burner
is
phone in there.
For
on his
real.
accounts, and
What if he's not even
I'm not
in there?
gonna speak as to the source of the posts and what's being put out, but I think again, as of now, he's not charged with anything, and he's free to comment publicly if he wishes to.
Yeah, they've obviously, we know that they seized nearly £3.5 million in cash, 11 luxury sports cars, guns.
They
and
took
other
all his
weapons.
shit?
They did.
Are any of the things that have been seized from the property,
Look.
are they in themselves acts of law
They
breaking?
took this like a month ago.
Possession of any of these things?
To my knowledge, they're not. I think if they were, they would have been charged with crimes. Again, they had the initial search in April, and it's
Where's the
February.
Bugatti?
It's been 10 months.
took that
and
first.
They
no
took the
charges have
Bugatti
been filed
first?
whatsoever. We have an ongoing criminal investigation for which
color
this
is
is
your
a
Bugatti
preventative
now?
detention, which is why they're in custody. Again, this is the most severe form of punishment. I don't think it's justified under these circumstances where the prosecution hasn't set forth enough evidence to charge them, and yet they are detained and it's being prolonged.
But you do accept, of course, that if the women who've come forward here as part of the investigation, if they're telling the truth, these are very serious allegations against your clients, which could lead to charging, and if they're led to charging, could lead potentially to long prison sentences if found guilty.
Certainly the crimes at issue are very serious crimes, and I think, Pierce, actually it was on your show when you interviewed Tate several months ago. He made very strong statements about his position on rape, and he condemned rape, and he said it was disgusting, I'm pretty sure the word he used, and he said he thought that somebody who does that deserves the death penalty. So there's no question that these are serious charges, and even in his own words, they're very serious charges. There just isn't any evidence that they committed these crimes.
But we've also had tapes which have emerged in the last few weeks.
So we could, he talks about that, but like at the end of the day, like you see what she said on his show. Like he condemned that, which is kind of weird. Like, but I mean, there is people that condemn things and then they do them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that doesn't mean he's not. And then a lot of people are trying to say like, well, really like, well, what if he's wrong? And you guys are all backing him up. Shit. Well, if he came out and if there's enough evidence to show that it's true that he did do that, all that stuff, then obviously everybody's gonna condemn that. But at this point, if there's no evidence, you know what I mean? And then how credible are the sources that are coming out? The girls that are accusing him. Mm-hmm. When I think there's like 4, I don't know how many they came out, right? And then 2 of them are saying that they've been paid off or manipulated by the prosecution. So now it's like kind of weird. Like, okay, can we even trust the rest of the evidence?
So they called rape, and then that's it. They raided his whole shit. They took his Bugatti.
Well, he got arrested last year in April because. So the reason why he first got arrested is because somebody, I guess, called so somebody from America called the Romanian embassy or the American embassy down there saying that there's a girl at his house that's being held hostage. Mm-hmm. So the freaking SWAT bust through his door trying to figure out what's going on. It turns out it wasn't nobody being held hostage. It was actually just a girl who was at his party, and her boyfriend saw on Instagram that she put that she was at Tate's mansion or whatever. So he calls her, hella mad, like, what the hell were you at? She says, oh, no, I'm being held hostage. I didn't want to be here.
What a piece of shit.
Right, so she lies to him, and then freaking the boyfriend calls the freaking American embassy and says that she's being held hostage in Romania. Well, the American embassy calls the Romanian one and says, send a SWAT, there's somebody being held hostage. So they bust through his shit, and it sounds like that's about where everything started.
So this BZ flew all the way from the U.S. to Romania to go kick it with Andrew Tate?
That's what it sounds like.
And then this fool found out, got her
saw
GPS
her on Instagram or something. Like he saw some kind of Instagram post she put up, and he somehow knew it was his house. I don't know how that.
She probably like, screw you piece of shit. I'm gonna go kill with Andrew Tate.
Fool, but that's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird. Like you would accuse someone like him of rape or anything else, But this fool's got so much money, and there's girls all over. Like, you should see there's videos of them partying in clubs and stuff. They're all over them. They're, you know how it is in Romania.
Yeah.
Romania women for $10, they'll be like all over you.
You don't even need $10. All you need is a U.S. passport.
And this fool has a Bugatti and Lamborghinis and stuff like that. You know, the whole city where he lives is talking about him. So he probably got girls sitting in line. So why you even need it? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. Plus, once the SWAT or whatever showed up and found out that Beezy was just chilling, ordering pizza, whatever, why wouldn't they just be like, "Oh, she's a lying piece of shit. Okay, here you go.
They did
you
that.
guys can bounce out."
They did that, but supposedly ever since then they've been investigated and new allegations. And then in like 2015 or something, back in UK, some girl from back then, one of his ex-girlfriends, called and made a report. And something about Vice. Supposedly Vice went and interviewed him, and they went and just tried to get hella dirt on him on stuff. He actually let them in his house, did an interview with him. I think it's like 6 months ago, and they didn't release it at all. They only released it once he went to jail, and it was all bad things about him. But he willingly let them in and talked to them and everything. So all they did was just trying to make him look bad. So it's kind of weird. Vice was kind of grimy on that part.
Somebody that's got deep pockets is trying to make them shut up.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. Why wouldn't his own attorneys? Plus, he's got a lot of money. Yeah. Usually, with a lot of money, you have a lot of leverage. But it seems like in this case, he has no leverage at all. His attorneys can't reach him, is what they said.
Well, he has contact to his attorneys, but what she's trying to say is that it's like limited or whatever. So, I mean, obviously he's talking to his attorneys, and they've tried to like appeal everything, but they keep getting denied because supposedly, like, they keep making, the prosecution keeps making the case like, oh, you got to keep him here because he's
a flight risk. They
supposedly present little by little stuff that could mean that he might be, I don't know. But at the end of the day, hey, I feel like he should be out fighting the case if that's the case.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're in Romania. You're not in
but,
America, where you got
that's true.
Certain rights and certain freedoms that you could actually fight this kind of stuff. In Romania, they want to keep you, they'll keep you. You're in a different country. It's kind of like that BZ that went to Russia with her little weed pen and got arrested, threw her ass in prison. What are you going to do, argue with the Russians? You're in their country. You do what they say. That's how it works.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you watch. I'll show you. There's something that actually came out that they said that was pretty interesting. Tristan Tate. Watch. No. Let's see. So Tristan Tate, while he's getting transferred.
Oh, I saw that.
You see this?
Yeah. He passed a note to them, and
yeah, it sounds like, I don't know if it's true or not, but it looks like CNN grabbed it, and CNN's kind of fake, so I don't know.
CNN.
I don't know if it's fake news or not, but he passed over the freaking thing to a note, I guess, to them. So
let's watch it.
Watch this.
What was the note? I can't remember.
Oh, guys, before we made the video about
what is that?
What the hell is this?
Oh, this somebody reacting to her.
Oh my god.
Where's the actual?
So guys, earlier on today we made a video basically about Tristan Tate delivering a secret letter out to the press, and we read exactly what was said in that. But now this is just proof that it actually has come from him. A video picked up him giving it to the reporter.
Someone wants to hurt you? Take that, read it. Someone that wants to hurt you?
Why he wanted this exact piece of paper to get out to the press and hand it to this reporter, I'm not too sure, because they've been putting out a lot of messages on their Twitter anyway. Anything they put out there does go to the press, but I guess handwritten just hits different. The letter read, "Dyke got evidence against us is that our friends Beatrice and Jasmine made a TikTok video in 2021. That's why I'm in prison. Ask Dyke for evidence. Ask the judges who is influencing them. Tell the world what is happening. Tristan Tate," is what he had put out. I've got another video about Andrew Tate's new letter coming real.
So it's something about somebody made a TikTok, like the girls. I think it's something about the girls that made that. I don't even know. Like something about these girls that Beatrice said something else.
TikTok for like how?
I don't know. That's why it's kind of interesting to find out like what it is. You know, I guess
if it was a TikTok, then it must have not been that bad. Like,
yeah.
TikTok,
well, I don't know what they made
everything.
a TikTok about, unless they made some. I don't know, honestly, man. But Tate came. Also, Tate was kind of giving out a message. So Let me see if I can find that one. But he was talking about how. Let me see, Tate. He was talking about how in Romania, like if I don't know exactly how he said it, but he said in America, if you have money, they think you're a businessman or something like that. In Romania, if you have money, they think you're a criminal. That's what he tried to say. So now it sounds like he's starting to complain about Romania, but he was like praising it before.
Yeah, the whole time he was like, that's why I live in Romania. I give them $5 and they leave me alone. I buy out the cops and stuff. And now you're getting screwed over by the cops.
Shit, that's hella funny. But I mean, that's kind of messed up. You know, I don't think that they should do what they're doing. But at the same time, I mean, you praise them, but, you know, now you're starting to see a different side of it.
He got hit with the same freedom that he was talking about, that if you got money you could just buy people out in Romania. Apparently his money is no good because he's not getting anywhere.
Well, see, this is what the problem is right now. It sounds to me like the issue, there was a Romanian attorney that got interviewed, and he said right now the Romanian justice system is on the line. And what he meant by that is that if they let him out just easy, they're going to prove that basically it's what Andrew Tate said, that the Matrix trying to attack him. You know what I mean? So the prosecution and the judges in Romania is trying to look strong, and they're trying to show that that's not the case. You know what I mean? They're trying to prove that he actually did what he did, and there is no false narrative. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now they don't really want to let him go, because if they let him go, the justice system in Romania looks bad. But
so they're going to look corrupt. And that's why. So basically, it's an ego battle now. I'm not gonna let go of my side because I don't want to look stupid in front of the world. So I'm gonna find whatever it takes just to keep them. Yeah, but that time is gonna run out. Well, that's how long do they still have? They've been in there for a while, no?
They can keep them up to 180 days. Damn. And they've only had they did 30 days. Then they approved another 30 days. So I think we're coming up on 60 days that they've been in there, and now they just approved another 30. So that'd be like 3 months already. So that'd be 90 days. And they could do 180. So they could do another.
They could keep doing 30 days, 30
up
days.
Up to 180 days. And if there's no, I think from what she was saying too, is that if there is no charges filed by then they'll have to let them go.
They're not going to let them go. They invested too much into this.
There's the other attorney that I was telling you about, that what he was talking about was that, hey, look, they're going to file new charges. You're going to see in the upcoming days, there's going to be new files charged. Guaranteed. They're going to find something. Mm-hmm. They're probably going to get him with money laundering or something. He said they're going to find something to get him for. And even that charge, supposedly, it's 8 to 10 years or something, some crazy number like that.
Damn. So they're hanging on to something just so that they have an excuse to prolong their prison time, basically.
They're trying as hard as they can. So I don't know. And the problem is that he does have a lot of videos that he talked about things and could sound kind of incriminating because of his masculine part of, oh, you manipulate these bitches and da 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 da.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the only problem is, but his attorneys are arguing now that that's just a persona he's trying to portray online. That's not really who he is. He's just being fake because that's the persona he's putting up online.
So it's basically like the rappers with their lyrics, oh no, that's not real. I didn't shoot Timmy and stole his money and buried him in the backyard.
Well, that's what they're saying. It's hey, look, this is just a persona thing. It's not. We're not really doing this. It's just who we are online, but we're not really doing it. I don't know. I mean, I really don't think they're doing it. And I
think they have a lot that if they were to put him in front of a bunch of juries, he could look pretty shitty because a lot of those videos is him talking, basically just saying everything out loud, just all this all this crap about manipulating women and how to treat them and what they are and women are stupid and this and that. It almost seems like this would be the type of person that's gonna abuse women or kidnap women or whatever. So they got a lot of firepower when it comes to that because they're going against feelings. You can make people feel all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, but I mean your feelings is one thing, but the truth should be a different thing, right? So it should be factual, not about your feelings. You know what I mean? And that's the problem right now is what they're saying is that they're a controversial figure. Mm-hmm. Him, Tate, and Andrew and Tristan, not so much Tristan. Well, him too, but but that's not. She said that's not against the law to be a controversial person.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll have to find out. But at the end of the day, a lot of people compared, or like they made a comparison between the Andrew Tate with Tristan Tate and then Logan Paul and Jake Paul, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I would honestly
a comparison. What's the comparison?
They're trying to say who's like a better brother couple thing, whatever. However, brother team, right? They put the Tates versus the Pauls.
That's not even on the same playing field. That's why would I listen to this idiot Jake Paul?
Bro, but like the thing is, the problem with I think Jake Paul is a good guy. I think he's cool. You know,
I'm in Logan Paul. Yeah,
he's cool, and he's like kind of like a baby McGregor. You know, he's like he stirs the pot. He's trying to make money. He's young. He's wild. Whatever. You know, that's cool. But he seems like he's loyal. You know, when they banned Andrew Tate, he came out and said, "Hey, man, like you guys are wrong. We shouldn't censor people." So I kind of like that. On the other hand, Logan's a hoe. Straight up, he's a hoe.
Logan is a hoe. Yeah.
You know, because, and then second, well, okay, so, and then he went and scammed the shit out of hella people.
I heard.
So he had this thing called Crypto Zoo. It was like supposed to be like a game that you play that you invest like money into it, and it turns into, I think they were trying to say it turns into like Ethereum, and then you could get to like hatch these little eggs, and like basically you played this game. And then through that game, as you earn points and whatever, those points you earn through that game and you kind of work your way up, you can actually cash it out later and make money off of it. Well, that never happened. I guess the game never even got delivered. It never worked. They're supposed to launch it. They launched it or try to launch it, but it didn't never really work. His investors or the people that were in on it with them, they all sold all the stuff like... I guess way before when it was worth a lot of money, and then all the little investors that put money in, like his followers, they all got burnt out because the thing just never worked. And they try to sell it, they try to get their money out, they couldn't do it, nothing. So there's a guy named CoffeeZilla online. He like investigates scams and all kinds of stuff, right? He's like hella good. He's got like a big massive following. Well, he exposed his ass hella hard. So he got hella mad. So Logan Paul gets mad, talks shit to him on his podcast, and then he talks about how he's going to sue him for defamation or whatever.
He actually has proof of that? Or?
Oh, yeah. CoffeeZilla got crazy proof. Watch, we could put the link in the description so people could watch it, but that shit's crazy. Like, bro, he even
he created an app, a game, and then did he launch the game, or he just got a bunch of people to invest in that game, took all their money, and then never launched it?
So he got all the people to invest in it. He kept talking it up, how it's like the crazy shit out. Then they like half-ass launched it because they launched it, but it never really worked. You know what I mean? And then people like saw that something was wrong with it. They were like reaching out to like tech support and all that, and they're like, "Oh, we're working on it." Shit never happened basically, and people couldn't get their money out or nothing. So all the money people invested were gone. And I think it's up to. Shit, I don't even want to lie, but I think it's up to $10 million that they scammed for.
Damn.
Yeah, and all kinds of regular people, followers of his, in that CoffeeZilla interview or documentary that he made. Actually, he has he found the people that got scammed. He got them interviewed. He actually talked to some of the coders who did the codes, like all that. It's like a very detailed. I can't even go.
How is he not in jail then? If there's all the proof is right out there.
So he saw that shit was going like crazy. The programmers that he used and the people that were involved with him in this thing, I guess there were also some like known scammers. So all together, kind of I don't know if he knew or didn't know, but I guess there was like text messages talking about how they're gonna try to raise the value and this and that, and they're all gonna sell. So that's the only bad thing about him. There's proof against him that.
Oh, so he actually has like proof of intent to screw people over.
Supposedly there's actual proof that they were talking like, yeah, we're gonna get this thing popping, we're gonna like pump it up, we're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna dump it before, or I guess they were gonna dump it little by little before people could even notice that they're dumping it, so the price doesn't drop, or I don't even know.
People don't freak out and hop out before they take all the money that they wanted up.
Yeah, so I guess all the people that were in on it, they ended up dumping the whole thing, cashing out, besides him and his manager. But I guess the reason why is because they realized something was off and they knew shit was about to be bad and it was like a scam or whatever. So I guess the authorities must have gotten involved because right now he basically he was silent ever since that happened. For like months he was silent about it. He wouldn't talk about it on podcasts or nothing. And these guys are saying that they think that he went to the cops and said, hey, look, this is what's going on. We kind of screwed these people over. I kind of got scammed in the process too. And he tried to walk it back so he doesn't get in trouble. So people think that he's working with the DA, district attorney, to try to figure out what to do so he doesn't get charged. I guess.
So he's trying to play the victim, basically.
He basically screwed people over. Went to the DA because he knew he'd probably get found. And he probably said, hey, look, check this out. I messed up. I damn near scammed these people. I did this, that. So what can we do now? And he came out and I guess the only way you won't go to jail if that happens, you do it, is if you deliver on the product or return the money to everybody who you stole from. And just in the recent days, he came out with a plan to deliver the project. Supposedly he's back in business. We're going to get it done. And I think as if not, he's going to get charged and go to jail.
He's going to have to pay all that money or go to jail, or he has to actually deliver on the product that he was promising everybody.
Yeah, if he doesn't deliver, that means just scammed. Right? Shit.
I guess.
I mean, the project being delayed is one thing, but if you just never deliver, it's probably way worse.
Okay, but what if you just, if I was him, I would just deliver some garbage.
He did that.
Oh, shit.
He did that, but that's why they're you guys scammed us. Fool, come on. People invested millions of dollars in this.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I feel like he's not really a ethical person. And then watch.
Didn't he do the same shit with what was that freaking NFT crap? He pumped up a bunch of NFTs oh shit, everybody wants these. The price went hella high, and then he instantly sold hella shit and made hella money, and now that NFT's worth nothing.
Well, he did pump up a lot of NFT. The funny thing is that supposedly this game was so popping because even the characters were drawn by crazy artists. And then the characters they put out, they look like some damn donkeys. They look like some half-ass Photoshop shit. Supposedly people are hella hot. It's if you watch that damn, you gotta watch the CoffeeZilla interview. It's crazy. It's hella funny. And he actually put updates since then. But anyway, on his watch, if you want to pull this up on the Twitter page for CoffeeZilla, you can see here. He just posted, actually just now, it says that Logan Paul was just sued in a class action lawsuit for his role in CryptoZoo, along with Jeff Levin, Jeff is his a manager who was involved in on it. And then Crypto King, I don't know who that, I really don't know who that is, and then all the other people. But you see here is the complaint. And I guess the plaintiff, Dawn, or whatever, however you say that, right? Don Holland. I guess it's a cop from Texas.
A cop from Texas is suing him?
Yeah, again, yeah, he's suing, I guess. But see, it's jury trial and all that. We'll see what happens with that. Anyway, there's another article here and talks a little bit about it, you see.
And he has one of those faces that I just would love to just punch.
Doesn't he look like Tube Sock? Doesn't it look funny?
Kind of, but without the peninsula.
Yeah, but Tubi's cool. This was a hoe. Yeah. I used to actually like this fool. I used to listen to his podcast and everything.
He was entertaining, but he did a lot of grimy shit for attention.
I just don't like the fact that he turned around on people. And I feel like loyalty is always the thing that you all it should be the base of everything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like he just doesn't have a backbone. He's very
right here you can read about it. He says the plaintiff who poured about $3,000 of his own money into CryptoZoo in hopes that he would yield big returns. Well, this was pretty retarded too, though.
Bro, that's only $3,000. That's not that much.
Right, and he's hoping to sue for $75,000 for conspiracy to commit fraud.
You only had 3,000 in it. Relax.
Okay, so conspiracy to commit fraud, fraudulent what does that say? Misrepresentation, and then negligence, unjust enrichment, and more.
I don't know. He's only looking for $75,000. He could have just went up to Logan Paul and be like, "Bro, Give me the 75,000.
Like, bro, I'm gonna steal your ass. But the thing is, from what I understand with with these kind of things is, if you, it says it's a class action lawsuit. If it's a class action lawsuit,
everybody can hop in, basically.
From what I understand is what they'll do is one person hops in, and then the next, what they might do, or their attorneys might contact everybody who was involved and say, hey, what's up, hop in on it.
So they're gonna split 75,000 in like 30,000 people.
I don't know how much they're gonna split, because I was reading up on that actually, and I was like, who makes the most money on that? Mm-hmm. They say some of the first people who hop in on it, those are the ones that benefit the most. So I don't know if it's true or not, but my guess is that the further along you came up, the less you get.
So basically, if you got screwed in that whole thing, you better get in line fast before you only get like a couple dollars. Yeah, and I think the reason why they want class action lawsuits is because they make a stronger case and say, "Oh, look how many people we got." Oh yeah. But if they're only suing for 75,000, like shit, those fools invested millions, and they say if you do, so this is one thing that people need to know about actually like a class action lawsuit. If you join a class action lawsuit, you cannot individually sue for that same thing anymore. Like, you give up the right to sue. And you're not the one dealing or taking deals. Whatever deal is taken, that's what you get, and you just put up with that. If you join a class action lawsuit, that's kind of from what I understand. So basically, you get what you get from the class action lawsuit, and then that's it. You can't come back later and be like, oh, well, actually, I lost way more money. I'm suing him again. Nah, from what I heard, you can't sue on a personal level if you go through a class action lawsuit. Okay, so what happens if everybody decides, I'm not hopping on this class action crap. I want to sue him individually. Well, then you could probably just do it if you didn't hop in on it. That's my guess. I don't know. I'm not an attorney, but shit. That's my guess. We need to get an attorney. Don't take legal advice, okay, from me. We need an illegal attorney. An illegal attorney. Yeah, but this fool, man, freaking Logan Paul is kind of the reason why I don't, that's what I was saying too. There's no comparison between Logan Paul with Jake Paul and then Tristan and Andrew Tate, because at the end of the day, those guys are loyal to each other. Logan Paul is like best friends and business partners with his brother's enemy. Mm-hmm, yeah. Did you see the video of what's his name? Was not Logan Paul? What the hell's his stupid ass name? Jake. Did you see the video of Jake? He got hella mad on one of the podcasts, and he started throwing his the prime juice, whatever, he's throwing him around. He's like, screw you, piece of shit. I was representing all your stuff, prime, in all of my camps, and you took my logo off of your shit or whatever. That's what I'm saying. This fool's like almost like jealous or something. And then you won't even believe what he just did. So Jake Paul has been like a big advocate for like making some type of union for the UFC. What he believes is that the UFC fighters are not being paid enough, and they're getting beat up, and their health is in jeopardy, and all these problems, right, that are going on in the UFC. So he says, hey, we need to make some kind of union to fight against this so we can get paid what we're supposed to. And he's not even in the UFC. He's not in the UFC, but he's saying that he wants to fight for that, right? Now, this fool, Logan Paul, went and made a deal with the UFC for $200 million just like a few days ago. Logan Paul made a deal with the UFC? Yeah, so Logan Paul made a deal with the UFC to so that the Prime drink is going to be the official drink of the UFC. Oh, that's what he's doing. Yeah, so I was like, bro, your brother's fighting against it, and you're just clicking up with it. Like, what the hell's going on here, bro? That's grimy as hell. I would be on my brother's side. Like, all right, well, let's fight the UFC together if we're going to do it. What the hell? Yeah, but I mean, then that's the reason why I tell you there is no comparison with Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. Those fools are loyal to each other. That's true, yeah. This fool's a freaking dick. He'll throw his brother in the freaking under the bus. Yeah, Logan Paul, you a bitch. Hey, that's just our opinion, but you can do what you want with it. In my humble opinion. Well, that's the thing, man. Like, how you gonna be like that with your brother? That's grimy. Oh, I'm gonna go do business with my brother's enemy, and then he's best friends with his brother's enemy. Yeah, that's grimy. So anyway, this fool Logan Paul's been getting roasted all over. He did the crypto zoo scam, and then he's been getting smashed and roasted by the Christian community.
because he criticized the crap out of George, who was his co-host on the podcast, talking crap about the Christian stuff, you know. And I guess he's been just getting smashed online. People talking crap online, all the freaking interviews and whatever. Not interviews, but in the comments, like he's just being roasted. Mm-hmm. So then he did another podcast, acting like all of a sudden he believes in God, and he feels like ever since he see, he's such a sellout. Because at first he was talking shit. This was like, yeah, well, somehow your God is not doing nothing for you, obviously. Like, he was talking shit, like, whatever, straight up shit.
Yeah, and then he got a bunch of, like, heat from everybody else, and he realized that he's not getting the support that he wanted, and then he instantly folded. Well, actually, now I believe, and, yeah, but please like me again.
Right. And, and like, don't quote me on it, because I don't know if I'm saying it right, exactly what he said, but he's like, oh, you know how I know there's a God, because he's been punishing me ever since that happened. I went to the airport and they took my $30,000 camera. And then the night before, I don't even know, like, all these things, supposedly God's whooping his ass. So he tried to, like, act like, oh my God, like he's all of a sudden he believes, you know. I was like, bro, you're such a sellout. You'll do whatever just so people don't cancel you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now George went and started his own podcast. Shout out to George. What's happening? It's actually kind of interesting. And it's kind of funny because he was not like the most talkative on the other podcast. Mm-hmm. But on this one, he just can't shut up.
He's just running his mouth the whole time.
It's his own podcast.
We got to get George on the podcast.
But he's funny because he's like hella creative with it. And he's like thinking hella outside the box. I mean, I don't know because I don't know if they're still doing podcasts together. He said that he still is doing podcasts.
I saw him coming back on or whatever. They were talking about him starting his own podcast. Oh, I don't know. I saw just like a little clip of it, but it seems like they're cool. At first, did you see the little it was like a little teaser? He was like, yeah, Logan Paul, he fired me.
Yeah, and that was just a clickbait right there.
Yeah, he's just trying to get some clout.
He was like, I'm not even gonna get like 5,000 views on this, but he ended up getting like hella views, probably like close to 1 million, I think.
Yeah.
On the first one, which
that's because there's a lot of people that support him, especially that idea. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you got to keep the whole like Christianity thing to a minimum." You know, there's not a lot of people that agree with you, whatever. This guy said, "Screw it, I'm gonna just talk about it freely," and that's why people like it. He's actually a really smart guy. A lot of the stuff that he says, it's like, damn, bro, like not a lot of people are willing to talk about this on a podcast, but you're out here kind of like, you know, spreading the love and teaching. A lot of people that didn't even hear about God or nothing, they would watch this podcast and be like, oh, let me look into it a little bit. You know, like maybe it'll open up their eyes a little bit.
Yeah, well,
I like him.
Well, you know, he's just being him, which is what sells. And if you see his blogs, not blogs, his vlogs, they're actually pretty interesting. They're pretty cool too.
Yeah, I haven't seen none of those.
No, if you watch it, he's got an interesting channel. He's got like over 1 million, I think over 1 million followers on there. So
yeah, he's a cool guy. I like him.
It's pretty tight. But yeah, I don't know. You guys seen? I don't know if you guys seen the freaking spy balloon from China.
Oh, the Chinese balloon? Like 20-year-old weather balloon. Supposedly,
is that how old that shit is?
I don't know, but they were saying like, bro, if China was trying to spy on you, why would they use a big ass balloon that's so obvious? Why wouldn't they use something more discreet?
Well, that is the funny thing. Is like somebody brought that up, but you know the funniest shit out. Like, watch. You can go to like CNN Politics real quick. Watch, hop on this. It says Biden is being constantly briefed on suspected Chinese spy balloon, and then why hasn't the U.S. shot down the suspected spy balloon yet? Like, I'm not gonna go through and read all this, but I heard basically what
How do they know it's Chinese?
Well, that's a good point too, for real.
It's not like, why would they put a Chinese flag on it if it's Chinese?
I don't know. Here, let's see. Well, I don't know. Here, let's watch this. This is hilarious. How the hell? Let me see what it looks like.
It says "Made in China" on it.
For real, made in China.
The George brothers did not start the opioid crisis, but they poured gasoline.
Why we gotta watch an ad?
People were dying because of them.
We do not sponsor this ad. We are not sponsored.
Yeah, we're forced to sponsor this ad
on CNN.
Freaking CNN.
There is
Hey, but
a ground stop.
Actually, let me pause this real quick while we're talking about sponsors.
We got a channel sponsor?
Shout out to PIC Clothing. Shout out to PIC Clothing. We don't have the link yet, but as soon as we get it, we're gonna drop it in there, and then you guys could shop for clothes like premium luxury clothes on.
Hey, speaking of PIC Clothing, this is one of his original designs.
Yeah, and he
custom made. Look at that,
bro. Those are like 2 years old, and they're still.
I had this for a long time.
Right, and those are hella old, and they're still looking great.
Man, silky smooth. You want to look like this? We're gonna put a link in the description.
Those are some of my favorite shirts, honestly. Like yep. I'm not even shitting you. Anyway, check them out. But here, let's get back to this.
Airport, and this thing is up in the sky.
This thing, now like believed by the United States to be a Chinese government spy balloon,
how'd they know
flying
that?
60,000 feet up in the atmosphere over the.
If I saw that shit, I'd be like, "That's a UFO." What happened with us believing in UFOs? Come on, man.
Or it's just a regular weather balloon. They have those all the time.
But
how is this Chinese?
Why you need that shit? The balloon.
First of all, why are they spying with the this giant balloon when they got satellites?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, why do we have only a picture of it from the ground? You don't think a freaking jet would have flew up there and see what's popping?
Or why even use anything? You could just get on Google Earth and just look at things.
But you know the funniest shit out is that so Donald Trump hurry up and put a freaking thing on the social proof. What's that freaking website?
Oh, the Truth? The
yeah,
Truth
like social proof. Here, let me put it. Watch Truth Social. Donald Trump.
Is he still on Truth Social?
Of course, he has a deal with them.
For real? So he's not hopping on back on the Twitter?
No, so I don't think I don't think he's allowed because from what I understand, he has a deal with Truth Social where he has to be only on there because that's basically why the thing started because of him. Exactly. So then like the investor probably hella hot if they.
Shit, I would be mad too.
You can't search on this? Like you have to have a website or like
you gotta log into the
account. Shoot. All right, well.
Damn, you can't Truth without an
anyway,
account.
He put it on Truth Social, you know, talking about how maybe there's an image on it. No, what's that say? I don't know. But anyway, he went and like put a freaking post online. He's like, I would have shot that thing down by now. And
he would have shot it down though.
And his son freaking
his son what?
His son freaking like re like Truth Day or whatever. He said yeah, like he would have shot it down by now.
He re-truthed
it. And then freaking but I don't know, I guess the excuse is the CIA said they have advised against shooting it out because of all the debris that will happen.
What kind of bullshit is that? I'm not gonna. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have some foreign object in the sky. I don't want to litter the floor, so we're just not gonna.
That's what I mean, that's what I saw online. And who knows? Because some shit online is fake, but whatever. That's what we got. So
that's a load of crap. I would have shot that shit down. I would have shot it down with my big missile.
Supposedly freaking little Sleepy Joe woke up. It's like shoot that shit down. I don't know. That's what I heard. That he's been trying to shoot it down.
No, if he shoots it down, he's gonna get a bunch of tree huggers just storm the White House. You're polluting the earth.
Oh, you know what's hella funny? Somebody tweeted and said, or Truth or whatever they did. So I guess it's real. If it's truth, it's for real.
It's truth.
Hey, but somebody freaking truthed it and said if Donald Trump was in office, he would have shot it down and made the Chinese pay for it. That shit was hella funny. I was like, for real, cuz?
Bro, Donald Trump needs to come back. Bring Donald Trump back.